What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of The Locker Room. I'm here with Jai Opetaia. I say this wrong. I'm going to say Opetaia.
Opetaia.
Opetaia. Fuck. Bro, it's so hard. Sometimes
All good,
I get, like, when I get people on and they have like all different names, it's like, fuck, man, this is torture. I'm going to embarrass myself. And I know how bad it is, bro, because I got a shit name. Well, not a shit name, but my name's Denon. And everyone says Deanon. Fucking, some people just say Dean and Damien.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, you're not even trying. Like, you didn't even try to say my name right. How you going, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good.
17-0, living the dream.
Getting there, bro. We're on the makings of getting to the dream. So,
Yep.
you know.
So your last fight was against was on the fight card of Justin Hodges. He was the co-main, and then it was Tszyu versus Camilleri. And so you fought. Who was the guy you fought?
I was meant to fight like an African from Ghana,
Yep.
and I was meant to be semi-main, but he ended up stuffing around with his visas. He couldn't come over to Australia, so I versed. They call him Smiley, man. I don't even know his name is Smiley, but man, he was a tough cookie. Yeah,
Yep.
I actually reckon he was better than the African opponent.
Yep.
But yeah, man, we had a good fight, and yeah,
He was fucking tough, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching the fight, just going, bro, this like he got rocked. I think like fully rocked once.
Yeah.
But before that, he was just like getting like full clean shots,
Yeah,
like
man.
clean
Yeah.
shots, and he was just like walking, sweet, fucking hell. Like, what's that in the ring when you're in there and you know that you're the better fighter, but you got this real tough guy? What's that like mentally? You're like, fuck.
that's when experience kicks in, and
Yep.
you know, I've been doing boxing for a long time, so you know, physically I could he was so hard to knock out. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
one punch wasn't going to do it. So it just and that's what happened in the fight. Just breaking him down and seeing him sort of mentally think, you know, I can't hit him. He just keeps hitting me, like,
Yep.
and it's just like, yeah, you just keep sticking to your game plan, man. Everything he threw missed, everything I
Yep.
threw hit. So
So it's more about like rather than like a physically knocking him out, you're kind of mentally knocking him out.
mentally just break him down, man.
Yeah.
You know, win the chess match in the game. So.
Yeah.
And he was a dangerous fighter. You know, how many punches I threw and I was hitting him. You know, if I would have gassed, he still had some heavy hands on him.
100%,
So
yeah.
you know, I just had to stay smart, fight my game. And,
So from the like, had you seen any tape on him before the fight?
not really, man. I think I watched like probably about one round of a fight that he had. And I just sort of get that idea, you know. I get that idea if they're brawlers or boxers, or you know,
Yep.
But my old man, my trainer, he'll sit there and study, watch, does all of it.
Yep.
As soon as we go in the gym, he's like, "All right, we're working on this," you know.
Okay. So he kind of
Yeah.
you trust in him to give you the
I
game
trust
plan.
in him.
Yep.
He gives me the game plan. You know, like as soon as we get told our opponent, my old man the next day at the gym, he's going, "All right." He drops this hand. He does
Yep.
this. He does this, and I just listen to him. And if I'm at home and I'm bored, I'll sit there and watch a bit. And
Yeah.
you know, but otherwise it makes my mind tick over, and then I'm always thinking, I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, that's so
I'll
true.
watch his videos, and then I won't be able to sleep. I'm like, oh my god, oh.
That's so true.
Man,
Arcing up. Yeah, that's
man,
so true.
I'm bad like that, eh? Like I'll dead set. If I watch it late at night, I'll just be thinking about it while I'm sleeping. So
Oh, really?
it's better if I just leave it for my old man.
Yeah.
And as long as I train and do my prep properly,
Yep.
I'll be prepared to.
Yeah, and I guess as well as like as you move up through the ranks and you fight even harder opponents, that's when you'll probably have to sit down and genuinely be like, because like you've got more tape to study, you know, you've got to really increase your knowledge of the fighter you're fighting.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. But you know, it's the exact same sort of style, and I suppose when you start fighting those bigger names,
Yep.
and you know who they are, you already know sort of how they fight and what
Yeah,
they
that's
do.
true.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
And you don't want to get in your head either. Like if you're sitting there just like watching tape after tape, it's
Yeah.
like kind of becomes a bit too much. And I know it's a bad example, but like when Conor fought Khabib Nurmagomedov in MMA, he said like I got too caught up in his game,
Yeah.
and I didn't fucking do what I was supposed to do, what I'm fucking good at.
Yeah.
Like I knock people out, and I was
Exactly.
worried about him wrestling me.
Yeah.
And I guess it's a similar situation for yourself. Like if you're sitting there going, "Oh, he's got a mad overhand right," and the whole fight
exactly, bro.
you're just thinking about his overhand right. You're like, well, fuck, I got a mad stiff jab that's just going to stop that every single time, and I didn't do that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much it. Like my old man does all that, but
Yep.
I just make sure I focus on, you know, being the best I can be. So.
Yep. And so take us back to a young Jai. Were you born in Central Coast or?
I was born in Westmead,
Yep.
and then I moved out Central Coast when I was real young, about 7 years old.
Yep.
And then we just moved around the Central Coast, moved around a fair bit.
So Westmead, is that Western Sydney?
Yeah.
Yep.
Down that way, and then just
What age did you move up to Central Coast?
about 7.
Yep.
I think I was about 7.
Was it just for work or just life?
Yeah, just my parents.
Yep.
My parents just moved down the Central Coast. It's
Yep.
more kick back at the Central Coast. It's not not as hectic as Sydney.
Fucking hell, especially Western Sydney.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So I think they just moved to get away. We had my mum was she was running a cafe at the time. So
Yep.
but I was always just training and fighting.
Yep.
So.
It's good because, like, yes, you can live in, Sydney and train in that, but, like, to get away from it and just get away from those distractions that are so, for a young man, like, they're just so tempting. Like, I lived on the Gold Coast and I was lucky that, I didn't grow up near any really of that stuff. But it is, as a young guy, you're looking to test yourself. You want to be one of the boys and all that kind of stuff. It's really hard to say no to all that kind of stuff. Whereas Central Coast, I mean, I assume they would still have that.
Central Coast is quieter. Like there, don't get me wrong, man. There is a lot of distractions, and and being a young boy, you always want to have fun, and you always want to do something you're not meant to do. You know what I mean?
Bro.
You grow up with that sort of mentality. Everyone wants to be tough and hard throughout the stage, but I suppose it's just a part of growing up and growing from a boy to a man.
Yep.
And what you really want and who you want to be in life, but. Everyone's different. So.
Yeah, it's true, and everyone has different, I guess, opportunities given to them or chances, or some parents are there for them, some parents aren't. So, okay, so you move. So, from what age did you get into boxing? Or did you play footy at all? Like,
I played heaps of footy as well. I played till I was about 15, and then.
Yep.
But I had my first fight at 8, so I was always fighting. Oh, but I used to do kickboxing as well. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was always fighting. So. When you got to us, but you weren't allowed to fight boxing when you were 14 in New South Wales when I was younger.
Okay.
So I was doing heaps of kickboxing, but when I turned 15 and we sort of wanted to get proper serious, it was too much to do 2 sports.
Yeah.
So we had to focus on one. You know what I mean? Because you got to give, and fighting especially, you got to give 100%. Otherwise, you're going to get hurt. So So we gave up footy and just
focused on boxing.
Boxing. But I was always going to be a boxer. I always knew that day would come. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
so
it was always
what about kickboxing and boxing? Did kickboxing at all kind of like? Did you think about that, or were you always like, nah, boxing?
Yeah, boxing was. Well, I come from a boxing background, and I was only doing kickboxing because I would do anything just to get in the ring, pretty much. And my old man would just chuck me in and go, punch her.
Yeah,
so it was like that,
Yeah.
Like in New South Wales, it was like. You weren't allowed to have any boxing fights till you hit the age of 14. So
okay,
yeah.
So you need to get some kind of contact somehow, kind of thing. Some real. I mean, you can spar all you want, but nothing's like a real fight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So 15 years old, you say?
Yeah.
So you had your first boxing fight when you were 15, and then you made.
No. I had a few boxing fights. Like I went over to Queensland. Like I was fighting. Bro, back in the day, like when I was doing kickboxing, man. The kickboxing shows were dodgy. They were proper dodgy. Like you rock up, you're like, this kid's fighting this kid. There was no blue book. There was no I could have had 50 fights and rock up and go, this is my 10th fight and fight like a novice, So it was heaps dodgy. So like we used to go out to Queensland and fight up there all the time, and I had like boxing fights and shows, and I used to go to Canberra and fight like boxing when I was like 12 and 13. So we used to drive. Yeah, we fighting was just my sport. So whatever we had to do it, we'd do the travelling. So.
Oh yeah, so you're travelling to Canberra and Queensland. Was it a situation like how young fellas come through footy or whatever, and like they're the gun, they're really good. Did you always have a knack for it? Did you always win most of your fights? Technically, you were good, or what was it like for you?
Yeah, I definitely felt that way. Like I said, I come from a fighting family, so it's one of those things that. You just know, you see someone that that's like a footy player with a footy background, his dad's this or he's and they just know the sport, you know what I mean? And I felt like that was me at a young age, but like I especially when I was still a kid, I was always fighting men. Like I was always a fighting open. So I'm the youngest ever Australian to win a seniors Australian title.
Fucking
for
hell.
Amateur, so I won it at 16, and that's what qualified me for the Olympics as well.
And so that was in heavyweight as well?
That was, it's heavyweight, it's cruiserweight in pros, but it's heavyweight in amateurs, and then there's super heavy, which is just heavyweight. So they're different names, but same weight.
You won it when you were 16 years old?
Yeah.
Like, do you remember the fight? Do you remember how it all happened? Like,
man, to be honest, I didn't realize what was happening. Like, I was young, and like we were just having a crack, eh? Like we like they said, oh, we'll fight here. Like it was a massive tournament, eh? Like all these kids, like all these men wanted to go to Olympic Games, and I was just this 16-year-old kid, and they were like, oh, if you fight seniors, you know, you could go to Olympics. And I was like, me and my dad was like, just fight seniors, like why not? Have a crack. And then well, we ended up winning the tournament, man, and then we had to fight Oceanas, and we won.
So it
Oceanas.
wasn't just one fight; it was like numerous fights.
So nationals, I think I had 3 or 4 fights. I can't really even remember. I had 3 and 4 fights in the 1 week. So you have like a fight, then a rest day, then fight. Then I think you fight 2 days in a row, then a rest day, then a fight again. So it was a massive week. And
oh, bro! And how many rounds is it?
It's 3 threes.
3 threes.
Yeah.
Oh man. Ugh.
Man, I remember, but what I do remember, bro, is just being so young, like 16 years old, and I was fighting like full full puffed up, like, and like cruiserweight's a big division, 100%. There's some big lads in there, and like they were bulked as I was thinking, bro, this guy's massive, bro. But man, it just it was good.
How did you think you won? Was it just your technical ability? Was your athletic ability?
Man, if I would have stood there and fought those guys, I would have got the shit beat out of me. But I was dead set, just boxed their ears off, eh? Like, I just kept sticking and moving.
Yep.
Like, I was just hitting them and not getting hit. Like, it was just movement that got him, eh?
Yep.
So.
Wow. Okay, so you win that. What's your dad say to you? Is he just like...
Man, we were just over the moon, eh? Like, even heaps of the New South Wales team, which who I was representing, they didn't think I was going to win. So,
oh, really?
Like, it was a big shock to, all them. But, man, I was just a young kid doing what I loved, eh? And it was just... Yeah, it just happened. So
if you could know everything you know now, and then you go back, you'd be like, man, maybe don't do that. You're only 16 years old. Like, chill out. Like, or you'd be rattled by the like.
Yeah, I definitely didn't let it like sort of get to me, because I was like, I didn't realize. Yeah, like, I was just like, everyone was like, oh, this. I was like, oh yeah, that's cool, man. Like, yeah, but
fuck, that's crazy, bro. Youngest ever. So okay, so you qualify for the 2012 Olympics.
Yeah,
at 16 years old. What's that? What's the conversation like?
Man, when I won the Oceania Games and I qualified for the actual team, man, I got heaps of emotion away because I thought of my granddad and that. Yep. But man, it was awesome, man. It was a good feeling just because I represent the country. Every time I fight, I fought for Australia, but I fly both flags of Samoa in Australia.
Yep.
But it's my last name, which I feel like my heritage and my ancestors as well, my family that I also represent. So it was just, it was awesome, man.
Yeah, to get, you representing, hundreds, if not thousands of years of history.
Yeah.
On the biggest stage in the world.
Yeah.
And such a prestigious.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's a weird feeling, eh? Like, it's hard to even describe. But
yeah. Fuck, that's fucking mental. So, like 16 years old, bro. I was fucking on the MSN Messenger. Trying to tune chicks.
I was still on there. Don't worry.
I was on ICQ, bro. Do you remember? You would have been too young for ICQ. Do you know what ICQ is?
No,
bro. Oh man, I'm showing my age, bro.
MSN was like my first sort of social media shit.
Fuck, man. So there was this thing called ICQ. It was before MSN. And like anyone over the age of maybe, like I'm 32. I mean, but I know I look 18. It's all good, baby. But anyone under 30, over 30 would know ICQ, bro. And it's basically like the version before MSN.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, that's so good. Anyway, so
it's before my time.
Yeah, 100. So yeah, you go to the Olympics, and how does that how does that go? Was this before that you'd already won the junior world title in Kazakhstan?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man.
And that was another like crazy experience for me, because I'm just like I'm literally just a kid from the Central Coast.
Yep.
But I come from a boxing family. But all I did was train hard, and Kazakhstan was a world champion, world championship.
Yeah.
It was my first ever international bout.
Fuck.
So I've never ever fought overseas.
Yep. And Kazakhstan.
And this is the first and the biggest. At that age, it was the biggest tournament to be in.
Yep.
And I ended up winning it, and I felt like I wanted not I don't want to say easy, but I won it feeling like I was confident after every fight that I won. Yep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was no controversial fights that I was in.
Hell.
And man, and you get those Europeans over there that are fighting in these massive tournaments, like once a month, you know, they're fighting in these big tournaments against other Europeans. Because, like, the European countries are as far apart as, like, Queensland, New South Wales, you know? Our nationals is, like, crazy European tournaments. So,
But even less than that, because, like, Europe's boxing standard is, like, here.
Huge.
And, like, Australia's standard, like, and it's no offense to Australia, like, we're just a smaller country. But, like, even, like, Europe, and you would have been fighting against, like, Cubans and shit as well that, like, literally go to school for boxing.
Bro, exactly, man. And I feel like that's a thing that helped me win it as well, was... Like, I didn't think of that, you know what I mean? I was just a kid loving what I did. And, like, I wasn't putting them up here and, like, us Aussies down here.
Oh, really? Okay,
Like, I never, like, I was just, wow, who am I fighting? Azerbaijan. I was like, never heard of them, bro, let's go. You know, like, I literally never even heard of these countries that I fought until now. Like, some of the best boxing countries we got, like... It's just, it was a good state of mind I was in as a young kid, and I was just, I don't know. It's weird to explain, because, like, it was just happened.
Well, it's like, I try to say to, like, people that, or even, like, other footy players and that, when I, like, made my debut, I was 19, and I had this, like, strange confidence. I didn't think about anything negative. I was just like, I'm meant to be here, and I'm going to do it. I'm sweet. Like, I'm all good. Whereas, like, as the years went on, and it's a little bit different in boxing, but for me personally, because I'm, like, dealing with coaches and that, and, like, fitting into a team structure, whereas, like, boxing, you're the main priority kind of thing. Whereas, like, I struggled in the next years because my coaches would be like, we need you to do this for the team, this for the team. And I'm sitting there, like, my confidence is getting rattled and that. Whereas, like, when you're younger, you're just like, fuck, I'm sweet. I'm good to go. And I guess that's a similar feeling that you had when you went to... What was it like going to Kazakhstan?
It was good. And it was funny because Kazakhstan... around that time we went, that movie Borat come out.
I was gonna say,
I was thinking, I was like I full was picturing it like that. I was going, bro, a bunch of weirdos, man. But we rocked up, and it was like they were like Asianish Russian sort of things. So, but yeah, man,
like
they were crazy.
Like the China mainland or whatever that is like connected. I'm pretty sure.
Man,
I don't know.
I don't know too much about that, but they were just. But yeah, we weren't allowed to walk around too late at night, and really? Things like that. So, but even when we went to the shops, man, they weren't like arrogant, but they were just like standoffish. Like they seemed like if you were to be rude or disrespectful, they'll chop you in a second. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, it's just different culture. Like,
yeah,
I guess,
definitely.
You know, when you even in Australia, like if you walk into an area that you're a different culture, people are going to be like, who's this dude? What's going on now? So the fight that you won the world championship, do you remember that fight?
I fought Germany.
Yep.
So man, he was a tough cookie. Yeah, we had a good fight, but I beat him pretty convincingly, and I felt good in the ring. Like, just my movement. My movement just got me over the line. Like I would just hit and move, and I was long and just box smart. So you know, I watched heaps of the fighters that fought, and then like the fight prior, like the German fought before our one in the grand final, they just brawling, like they were just punching on, and like I'm a boxer. I come from a boxing family, and it's the sport's about not getting hit. So you know,
definitely.
That's, the movement just had him puzzled. So I went over there at 16, and then I qualified for the Olympics the next year. And then I just turned 17 before I competed in the Olympics.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
So going to the Olympics, what was a bigger deal, going to world title in Kazakhstan or going to the Olympics?
Olympics was definitely crazy feeling. Like just being in the arena and like walking out to it, like it was insane. But it was different as well because like I was fighting the favorite to win my first fight. You know, I lost by 1 point, but it just felt like people didn't think I had a chance. Because you know, I like on paper, if you read it on paper, he beats me every day of the week. You know what I mean? But when we rocked up, they were like, I remember people telling me who I was fighting. They weren't telling me what to do. They weren't saying jab or that. They would go, "You're fighting the ranked number one."
That's all
like looking at me like this, like my laugh was over. I was thinking, bro, what the hell? It pissed me off, eh? Like I was getting angry, man. But you know, you live and you learn, and you know, after the first round, we were drawn. Come back, and the eyes started lighting up, like, oh, you can win this.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. It was that's the sort of energy I got off him. You know, no hope. And then first round I go out, fight we have a good scrap and
Yep.
come back, it's drawn. They go, "Fuck, you know, you can win this. You just do this. Second round, come back, still drawn."
Yep.
And I'm thinking, I'm like, bro, how's this drawn, bro? I swear I just hit it more times. And then, we went out for the last round and we were tired to go out. And then, you know, we came back and I was waiting for but I just got missed out by 1 point. So
far out. And the thing with, I mean, I guess it's people that don't know, like amateur boxing is, you know, it's strange. Let's just put it that way. When it comes to a ranked number 1 versus a guy with no hope.
Yeah, it is a bit like that. But, you know, you can't make excuses like that, because it eats me up if I was just to go, you know.
Sit there worrying about it.
And like even that 1 point, because back in that point system we fought on, one clean punch was a point. So if I used to think, I was like, man, if I just would have thrown one more hook, you know, if I would have just, you know, been a little bit fitter or just done this or done that, like it ate me up, But man, you just got to freaking get past it and learn.
Yeah, you don't want to be sitting there for... And also, like, at the end of the day, like, that is important, but if you want to turn pro's important.
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Like, there's been plenty of amateur boxers that just haven't really gone on to do well in pro, and there's been plenty of amateur boxers that aren't that good, even though I'm not saying that, but you know what I mean, that aren't that great, that actually go really well in the pro. It's like two different things pretty much.
Complete two different styles, man.
Okay, so once the 2012 Olympics come and go, and does that give you a lot of confidence though? Like you're young, you're in the Olympic team.
Man, even the junior worlds, and I fought in youth worlds and Commonwealth Games, Olympic Games, like just like what I said before about Australia putting them up here and more down here, like it's not like that, Like if we train hard and we work hard, like man, we're capable of beating these guys, Like it's insane, bro.
No,
like,
that's so true.
How like close we are to beating them, but I think it's just that little mindset and and that hard work. So.
Well, you got to look at, like, you know, for example, we got we got number. It's obviously a different sport, but it's still combat sport. Number 1 contender in flyweight, Alex Volkanovski.
Yeah.
He's Australian. Rob Whittaker's a world champion in 185.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, that's from Australia. We got you know, obviously it's New Zealand, but Stylebender is you know what I mean? Like,
exactly,
so it just shows you that we do have the talent to go and
the only thing that I think separates us from them is like their schools and stuff. They're all like they're different, you know. Their combat sports is in schools and stuff, you know. And like they have massive arenas that they're teaching little kids how to box, so they know from a young age. But it's like us as NRL, you know. Australia's got the best NRL players. Like they're guns, because at a young age they got all these young developments for like NRL. Like they're making young teams when they're like little kids, and it just develops, and they make these great NRL players. But we don't have that for like combat sport and things like that
either. Like, you know, like as an NRL player, you can go, look, I'm going to go to my local club. If I play well, I go to here, and then I'm in a. Whereas like boxing, it's like
it's all self. You got to do it all yourself.
100%.
But that's what people don't realize is if you do it yourself, we can be up there with them, mate. So.
Yeah, 100%, bro, 100%. So it's 2012. So what year did you decide to go pro?
2014. I had my last amateur fight.
Yep. What pushed that? You know, like some people say you should stay in amateurs as long as you can, so the boxing technically can be good. What pushed the pro decision?
Man, to be honest, I fought at Commonwealth Games and I choked bad. Like I let an ordinary fighter beat me just because of the way I fought.
Yep.
And I think it was a bit of frustration, and we just had been in it for a long time, and man, it's a. Like I said, bro, boxing, you got to give 100%, and you know it takes a lot of time and effort, and you can't work, you can't do this. So you know we weren't getting any money. You know, I represented Australia several times, and the most we got, like I think in Olympic Games, we're getting $200 a fortnight or some shit, like for the Aussie team.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I was lucky because I was a kid.
Yeah,
but I'm thinking like even like these adults. Yeah, you know I'm still living with my parents at this time. So these adults, man, they got. So even if they had kids or like they got to work, they got to pay their mortgages. How are they going to do it? You know what I mean?
100%.
Like Australian combat sport doesn't back their fighters, it doesn't give them the opportunity. Some of them probably couldn't even go
because so true. Yeah.
So
it's so true, and it sucks because like if you back the fighters in that lower edge of like not lower, but as they're developing, you're actually going to create more potential world champs.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Like how many good fighters would have you seen that's like, you know, bro, like I'm going to go play footy because fuck, there's no money here. I can get paid $500 a game at some local league,
just to get some quick cash to like get by. Like it's
100%. Okay, so you decide to go pro, and you fight in New Zealand on your debut. Well, is that what you fought?
Yeah, man. I fought on a Joseph Parker undercard.
Oh, really?
When Joseph Parker fought bow to bow. So.
Oh, really?
And that was mad, eh? Like, you know, Parker being Parker, and you know he's like sort of leading the way for young Pacific Islanders. And so, man, he's a fucking awesome dude, eh?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So how did that come together? Like, do you get on that card kind of thing? Because that's a pretty good card to get on for your first card.
Well, I was under Jeff Fennick at the start of my career.
Yep.
And he was training Bowie.
Yep.
So I got it through that. So he fought Bowie, and then I don't know, Jeff must have done we'll put Jai on the card as well. So,
okay.
Yeah, boxing's a lot of about who you know.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard. I don't know that, but I've heard it's pretty fucking crazy. So what's the feeling like? You know, you're about to make your pro debut. Was it just like business as usual because you'd fought so much, or was it? Whoa.
Oh, yeah, it was. Like I was so nervous, eh?
Yeah.
I was heaps nervous. I don't know why, because I always fight.
Yeah.
But I think it was just our actual pro debut.
Yeah.
And I fought it was only 4 rounds.
Oh, really?
And I remember being the 4th round, man, I was gassed, eh? And I was so fit.
Yep.
I was so fit, but like the 4th round, I felt like my mouth was so dry, between rounds, and
it's the anxiety.
Like, man, I don't know. I let it get to me, eh?
Yeah.
But, you know,
it's like anything, man. Like in footy, you can do a whole preseason, fucking whole 3 months of just getting fucking towed. You get to round 1, bro, and you are gassed, man.
Hard.
And so is that what it felt like?
I definitely it just got to me, eh? Like I let it get to me, and like I was just looking forward to that day. Since pretty much my whole life to turn pro, you know what I mean? Like it was a big deal to me, like my first pro fight, and it was on a big card. Like that card was massive. It was nice corporate. Like everyone was in suits, and so it was a mad experience. But you know, it's all learning, and it was good.
So the next one when you fought in Melbourne, were you much more calm then, and much more like?
Yeah, man. As my fights go on, man, like I'm just more calm, you know. But it just comes down to preparation as well, you know. As long as prep's good, you feel good on the fight night. You know what I mean? You know you've done enough to perform any way that comes out. So
So what do you think has been your biggest and I guess best fight? You know, you've got quite a few TKOs here or KOs. Except for 3 decisions, you've finished every opponent. So that's 14 finishes?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. What's been your you always have that fight or that game or that, you know, this was a step up in opponent or whatever. What's been your fight?
Man, probably Daniel Amman, because he was the most experienced as well.
Yep.
You know, fighting him at Newcastle. So that was an awesome fight, and you know, it was crazy because I was again being so young, and I was fighting amateurs and fighting men. I was sparring all these guys.
Yep.
So I was doing when I was amateur, I was sparring all these pros all the time. They were using me as sparring.
Yep.
So Daniel Amman, I used to spar him all the time, and then I ended up becoming older, and then he became my competition. We had a fight for an Aussie title. So that was a big fight. But and he was tough, bro. He was tough as nails. I finished him in the later rounds.
Yep.
So, but there was another fight, but the American guy that they got over Lopez. He was like, they had mad raps about him, but it was I just got him in the first round. Like I got him with a good shot.
Oh, really?
And then ended up knocking him out in the first round. But that was a mad accomplishment because I won an IBF Youth World title. Like that was huge for me.
Fucking hell, first round too. Like it's not like MMA where you got these tiny gloves. Like first round knockouts, fucking big deal
man.
in boxing.
Well, before the fight, I'm just thinking, all right, mate, let's go. We got 12 rounds. Every round, mate, we're going hard. We're going hard, man. Yeah. And I'm just pumping myself up for a war, right? And I'll go out. Like my mind was set for 12 hard rounds, and then I go out, get the first round, and I'm like, I'm like, yes,
like you're not even celebrating this hectic knockout. You're celebrating the fact you don't have to go 12 rounds.
Yeah, well, it was like that, man. Like you're happy, but
100%.
Man, it was mixed emotions. It was crazy feeling.
It's I just related to just footy. Like it's like putting 40 on someone and you know you've won the game compared to like it's fucking 12 all. There's fucking 10 minutes to go and you're fucking still doing these shit hit ups and it's like, oh my god. So how did that knockout come about? Do you remember setting it up at all, or was just pure speed or athleticism? Or?
He come out trying to box heaps, and I don't know. I just sort of set up a few shots and just got him with a good one, and then he was just rocked bad. He got back up after the 8 count, and then he got back up, and then they said go, and then I just ended up finishing him off with a massive overhand. It was actually, if you watch the video, it was actually a really ugly. It was actually a really ugly punch, because I was full punch, and he stumbled back. And I think I ran towards him it was like I just went bonk, like it was an ugly punch, but
it landed.
Man, yeah, exactly. So,
what's been like what do you think's been your best technical boxing display where you've set something up and you've just been like fuck, like, and then you land that punch that you've been training, the whole camp or whatever?
My last fight, people underestimated my opponent, but man, he was a dangerous fighter, and I felt like I boxed him really smart because he was such a powerful hitter as well.
Yeah.
So just using my range in and outs, I wasn't there to be hit. I didn't stay in the clinch with him because I didn't have to. So things like that is that all the hard work, for those long rounds, because it uses energy to box like that, man. So, but I felt like my last fight, but. When they say, like, I'm 23 now and I feel like I'm only in the middle of my career, so I feel like my best fights are yet to come, I feel like I've still got a fight ahead of me I'm just going to be like, man, that was an awesome fight.
Yeah, okay, You're going to look at that and be like, that was like...
Hopefully it's my next fight, hopefully this guy comes to fight.
Who are you fighting next fight?
My next fight is 27th July, Luna Park. I'm fighting Nicholas... I can't pronounce it. He's a Greek guy based out of New Zealand, but... Yeah, man, he's had a massive... He's had a big amateur career. Everyone's been saying he's got fast hands, he's sharp. So and he's got a lot of prep to prepare for me. So
so it's not short call in kind of thing.
Yeah, I know he's going to come to fight.
Yep, so. And so that's the 27th of July. Did you say?
Yeah, 27th of July.
2 weeks from now.
3
weeks from now.
Yeah, we're in the 2.5.
2.5 weeks. So. What do you think? I mean, I guess you're not going to break down the game plan, but what do you think you feel you have that he doesn't have? Like, where in the boxing kind of skill set do you think that you're going to outbox him or outmove him or?
Oh man, I don't know. Every fight's different. To be honest, man. Like styles make fights, and I got a lot of range on him. So But yeah, we just rock up, man. We just jump in the ring and see what happens. Bro. We just got to box smart and pick our shots.
Okay. Well, what about favourite knockout? Was that the round 1 knockout? Has that been your favourite knockout?
Yeah, I'll say so. That Frankie Lopez, man.
Fucking hell, round 1, bro. That's just like
he was undefeated at the time too. So
I swear.
He was a good fighter, man. His trainer was some ex-world champion like Virgil. Something, so.
Virgil Hill or something like that.
Yeah,
is he a African American?
Yeah,
and he was training like
he's like a real well known. So everyone was giving these guys big raps. Hey, saying he's coming to. It wasn't going to be an easy fight. So probably
first round. Wow. Has he bounced back since then, or that kind of?
Man, I haven't really.
Yeah. So like next 12 months, if everything is perfect, like. Some people want to be good boxers. Some people genuinely believe they can be world champions. Is that something that you see in the future for yourself?
100%, man.
Yeah,
100%. I see a world title. We keep winning. We keep doing training hard, always first, and everything else sort of falls into place after that. But I just got to keep winning, keep doing my thing, and hopefully in the 12 months, man. I reckon we'll have that world title shot. We just got to...
Oh, that'd be sick, bro. Sick. Was there any of a time when you thought, fuck, like this might not work for me, or was you were always in the system? You were always pushing towards, have you had any tough injuries or anything like that? Or not really?
Yeah, I've hurt my hands a few, like just man, if I was to punch someone in the head, bro, I'd probably hurt my hands more than I'd hurt them, eh? Like, I've just hurt them and fractured them a few times, so they're weak, but, you know, I'll take good care of them when I'm... But, any other injuries, I haven't had too many, like, massive injuries or stuff like that, but...
I feel like most boxers have broken their hands quite a bit.
Well, that's pretty much all we do is use our hands. Like, you can roll the anchor every now and then, but it's mostly just... You're just punching, like, colliding with your hands every day, so...
It's interesting, like, people don't actually understand, like, let's say you got in a street fight or whatever, if you were to come in and just be like try to just fully fucking haymaker someone, you'd break your hand.
Oh, man.
People don't understand
especially, that. Especially, like, my hands are already gone. Yeah. If I was the full king hit someone, I would hurt my hands more than I would hurt them. Like.
So, like, you like slightly miss and he doesn't get knocked out and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I was joking, man. I was joking.
Yeah, just jokes, bro. Chill out. Fucking hell. So, did you, growing up playing footy, was there a team you supported or anything like that?
Yeah, I always just went for South. I was a South supporter, like, back at school and that. So
fuck, that would have been rough, bro. That would have been so rough, bro. They were terrible until like what 2013 or something like that.
Bro, to be honest, man, one of my mates just made South, and I just love free gear, so I just started wearing South gear all the time.
Oh, really?
So people were just like, "Bro, you go for South?" I was like, "Yeah, I go for South." So I just stuck with it, eh?
Well, you know what's funny is
but it's cool now because now I'm actually. You got a lot to do with South at the moment. Yeah, so my manager used to play for South. So now you know we can go to the games and hang out with the boys. So they're a mad team. They're a good bunch of blokes.
Fucking oath, they're good. Yeah. It's funny because Isam Masters, the centre for Tigers, he played for New Zealand.
Yeah,
he became a fan of the Eels for a little bit just because he stole a Jared Hayne jersey off his neighbour's line. I was like, bruh, fresh gears, free gears, and you've become a fan.
Free's my favourite rumble, bro.
That's fun. Okay, so what about like boxing wise? Who's someone that growing up you looked towards and wanted to outside your father kind of look towards and wanted to mould your not mould your career around, but you watch, learn and be like, fuck, that's someone I want to be one day, kind of thing, or similar to.
There's no one real specific that we sort of watched and wanted to like fight like, but we take a lot of good things off a lot of good fighters, But yeah, man, I used to, when I was growing up, I used to watch heaps of Evander Holyfield because he was like good. How he's my height. And he fights a lot of bigger fighters, and that's what something like my opponents haven't really been like. I fought one taller than me, but they're all around my size. But when I eventually in the future, if I move up to heavyweight, it'll be similar to that. His boxing style, he's moving, he's but like fighting those massive punches and stuff. So I always used to watch Evander Holyfield, but then I just watch heaps of southpaws, Like I watch heaps of Lomachenko.
You're southpaw, hey?
I'm a southpaw, yeah. So
for footy fans that are listening, southpaw is your left hand is your strong hand, your right hand is your jabbing hand.
Left-handed. So man, I watch heaps of like left-handed fighters, and I'm a massive fan of Mayweather. Like he's
good, man.
Yeah,
he's a G up.
I just like all good fighters, eh? Like, I respect boxers, hard work. Anyone that sort of.
It sounds like you like good boxers.
Yeah, exactly. That's me. I'm a boxer. I watch a lot of boxing. So
what do you think of the Fury? The whole Fury. Who do you think won out of Fury Wilder?
I thought Fury won.
Yep.
I think if he didn't get that knockdown, he 100% would have won. But I thought he won, like without that, anyways. But that's boxing,
bro. He's like both of them. Like the Bronze Bomber, his power is fucking crazy. And what is crazy with him is like, if anyone that knows boxing is like. The way he throws his punches, he should not be getting away with that shit. You know what I mean? He should not be getting away with that shit. Like there should be someone just sticking him on the end of the jab, and every time he throws that overhand right, he gets in the face or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But he still does it, man. Fuck. So he's impressive in that sense that he's still. I think he has like an underrated boxing, like beneath it all that you may not feel until you're in there. Maybe I don't fucking know. But then you look at Tyson Fury and just like, fuck, how does a guy that big? Move the way he moves.
Yeah, crazy.
Did you see his last fight?
Yeah. No, I didn't watch his last fight live. I just watched the highlights.
The highlights are good enough. Where he's like He's a friggin' heavyweight, 7 foot a million, and he's fucking
crazy.
Slipping punches like he's a fucking little 155er.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua Ruiz. What do you think of that?
I thought it was good for boxing, Man, I actually done heaps of rounds with Ruiz. When I made the Olympic Games and I went over to Las Vegas for a training camp.
Yeah.
There was this guy was Andy Ruiz at the time, but they were saying, "Oh, this guy's looking for sparring. Can't get any sparring." I was like, "Well, we're here for sparring, so let's bang." And then we went there. Fuck, we ended up sparring with him, bro. He was this next upcomer. Like he had a big name back then, and I remember moving around with him, bro. And like we were having a mad, dig. We were having a mad spar. And when I was over in America, bro, they were heaps like rudish in a way, you know, because I was from Australia.
Dismissive.
They were like, "Oh, you know, what are you doing here? You know, we want to spar, we'll bash it." Like that's safe.
Really?
They were like real upfront, eh? Like that was crazy.
What?
They made me feel really uncomfortable.
That's weird.
So I was doing sparring, but this wasn't Andy Ruiz, but this was like the gyms that I was going to.
Yeah. Okay.
So by the time I got to Andy Ruiz, I was just so over it and so pissed off with like the whole trip. Like I was like, fuck, bro, like let's spar, bro. Like I want to punch her. Like every sparring I was having, it probably wasn't good at the time, but man, I was sparring with ego. I was sparring like, fuck, I was full banging, like, and I sparred with Ruiz, and me and Ruiz were banging, and he even pulled me up after sparring, and he was saying, he's like. And he was speaking his like full American. I was gonna try and imitate him. Don't do it. Bro, he was it's like full saying like he's like, damn man, like bro, you got balls standing there banging with me, bro. No one bangs with me.
Oh really?
And like bro, he was fucking good, man. Like,
really?
He was one of the ones where I was like, bang bang, deuce. Back on my plate. You know what I mean?
So what did you feel in the ring with him? Was it his ability to just like stay in the pocket and slip punches, or what?
But he's just like a really good boxer. But it's like I'm sure everyone's seen it. But just his frame and his body. Yeah. You think, oh, you know, he's gonna fight like his frame and his body. Yeah. But man, he moves and he's got a little slip, but like the way he puts full combos together. Yeah. Like. Even with AJ, like it was a combination of punches. Yeah. Like he was throwing like 8 and 9 punches to knock him out. Like, he had no hope, bro. So
it's crazy.
Man, he's real good, eh? So I knew he was going to give AJ a hard time, man. I knew he was a real good fighter.
That's crazy, man. Like he's a perfect example of like it doesn't matter what you look like in boxing. It's a science, man. Like it's a language. 100%. Like, you can look like $1 million, but you just don't. And then you look at Ruiz, and he's fucking so slick, man. So quick. His hands are so quick.
Yeah, definitely, man.
That's weird how different, like the different cultures, like you rocking up, and they're like, yeah, let's fuck, you're doing nothing, rah rah. Which I feel like in Australia, that's not really like.
No way, bro, man. If someone walks into a gym in Australia, I swear they're like, oh, hey mate, where you from? You know, you boxed before, right over there. Like I walked into the first gym, and then like. The door closed behind me, it made a loud bang, and I full remember it. Like all these like, you know, locals just look at me, and I was like, "Oh, what's up, boys?" They were like, I was like, "What the hell?" And I'm 16. Like, I'm a young man. Like I'm like excited, bro.
Wow.
And like, and then I thought the guy that was taking us around to the gyms. I was like, "What's up?" Well, don't they like me? Like, what's going on here?
Start like crying and
stitch me up, bro. And then they were, but he was like, "Oh man, they're just like that." But that's weird. But in a way, man, it was awesome, man. Because like we went there, I would spar, you know, I would spar to prove myself. Yeah. And then by the time we leave, bro, everyone knew my name. Like,
oh, really?
In a way, like I don't want to sound like cocky, but you spar and you put on you earn respect there. You know what I mean? Like you spar hard. And then they're like, oh. Then after sparring, you prove yourself. They're like, oh, where are you from? How old are you? They start asking. Okay. They want to know you. Yeah. But, you know, it's cool in that sense. But, man, at the start, I was like, fuck, these guys are
fucking serious guys, bro. Yeah, chill out. A bit of training. That's crazy, man. So you'd sparred him at a young age. Who do you think... So he's got a rematch with AJ. Yeah. How do you think the rematch goes, if you had to guess?
Man. I see the same thing sort of happening maybe in the later rounds, but Ruiz, he's good, man. I reckon he wins again.
He's I just feel the only way that AJ can win going forward, not the only way, but one of the ways is just keeping on the jab, but like for ages, and then finding that right down the middle. But the thing, in my opinion, and I don't know shit about boxing, but like from what I know of it, is like. I feel like AJ doesn't... He's got, like, a good hook that's okay, a good straight right. His jabs whereas you look at a guy like Ruiz, like he is a complete fighter.
Yeah.
He's got hooks, jabs, body movement.
AJ's good, man. He's good. But he's like, he does the specifics perfect. Like he just does. He's a real specific fighter. You know what I mean? Like you can tell by his frame, the way he holds his defense. Everything's like the basics perfect.
Yep.
So you get someone with that natural movement, that skill, that
put it all together.
Yeah, put it all together, and that hard work that AJ does. Like AJ trains, bro, and you got to respect hard work.
Oh, fuck
he's a machine in the gym, and that's why he performs when it comes time to fight.
Yeah.
So you get someone with that hard work, but it's got that natural movement, that natural talent. You know what I mean? Like the Gypsy King, bro, he's
a freak,
and he's someone where like AJ's a lot bigger and he can bully people. He's strong, bro.
Yeah.
Gypsy King, he's big, man.
He's like
you can't do that to he's movement, bro. So
I would love to.
I don't know. It's exciting, bro.
Could you imagine seeing AJ versus Fury?
Yeah. Oh, fuck, man. It has to happen.
Yeah,
it has
please.
To happen, so.
I personally don't get me wrong. I loved Ruiz and what he. I love that he's a good boxer, but I hope AJ wins so that we can see Fury. Yeah. Can you imagine the trash talk leading up to that shit? Oh my god, it's so good. As a fan, I know in boxing it can be a bit too much, but for me as a fan, AJ versus Fury would be incredible.
I think the Usyk that just went up from cruiserweight, he's fighting the winner of Ruiz and AJ. So
okay,
so that'll be another good fight.
Fucking hell, that's heavyweight is back, man.
Hard.
There were years
100%.
I can't believe I forgot his name. The world champ for ages, and Fury beat him. I keep thinking Lomachenko. What's the Russian dude? Koscheck or whatever.
Oh, now you're confusing me. The two brothers.
Yeah. One of them, and one of them was world champion for ages.
It's like such a common
Russian European. Yeah. Fucking hell.
Far out, I've gone blank,
I type it. Klitschko.
Fuck
me dead. How did I not remember
that? What's his last name? I mean...
Vladimir Klitschko.
Vladimir Klitschko.
Vladimir Klitschko. There was a period there...
How did I not...
How did I not? He was like he's reigned for like 10 years. It's all good, sweet, yeah, sweet. Okay, so... I do all this, but usually I do it with like rugby league players. Do you watch much footy or not really anymore?
Not too
Not really?
much.
Okay, so I'll do it with boxers. I
love my state of origin.
Love state of origin?
But like I'm bad with like names. Like I don't know everyone's name.
Yeah, that's so good, bro. What we'll do is we'll do boxing. So it's basically the name game. I'll say a boxer. You get a one-word answer of like what you think of that boxer.
Yeah.
I won't say anyone that you're going to fight or whatever. Actually, before I forget to ask you, what do you think about the state of boxing with guys like Kambosos, guys like... not Fennec Horn. You got who else you got that's going all right at the moment? You got Kambosos, Horn. There's another few other. Anyway, do you see that the state of Australian boxing getting better?
Man, I feel like there's so many young fighters coming up right now, and there's some that people don't even really hear about too often at the moment. Like they're still just starting off their first pro fights until they get bigger, but. All these guys, we all fought at nationals and we all travelled like in Australian teams and stuff like that. And everyone's starting to turn pro at the same time. So there's a lot of good fighters coming out. Even George Kambosos, man, we went to nationals heaps together. He's not that much older than me, but he turned pro a lot sooner than me. But him, bro, like exciting fighters, Like, man, I reckon there's a heaps of exciting fighters that are coming up at the moment.
I think social media helps a lot too, because back in the day, the promoters kind of had the power, who they promoted, who they didn't promote. Whereas you look at Kambosos' social media, he does it so fucking well, and he's got 70,000 followers or something crazy like that, and it gives him an opportunity to promote himself. He's a different fighter. He does like the attention. He likes to talk shit. So there obviously still pathways for different fighters, but I just feel like it's a good opportunity. Like yourself, you're on the show. You've got your own social media that you can push. And it gives boxers a chance to push themselves. Yeah,
definitely. I think social media is, it can be a shit thing at sometimes, but it's a powerful thing, bro. And Kambosos' social media, man, people respect hard work. You know,
Yeah.
you work hard, you train hard,
Yep.
and people will start to notice. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's a good platform to spread your own name, and like this fight we got 27th of July coming up, man. It's like to get that out there, and
Yep.
it's not just putting posters on bloody corner shops anymore. You know,
100%.
you got a big platform, and
Yep.
but.
Okay, we'll play the name game. So I'll say a name. You just
All right.
one word answer. So all right. Muhammad Ali,
The greatest of all time.
the GOAT.
The GOAT.
The GOAT. Mike Tyson.
The craziest of all
The
time.
craziest, bro. 100%. Floyd Mayweather.
TBE, bro. He's the man. I think what he did was the best, eh? I reckon technically the best.
I was going to say, if you could disassociate everything that Ali did as a person outside the ring, and you just compared like technicality as a boxer.
I don't think Muhammad Ali's boxing makes him the best. I think it's everything he stood for and the man he is.
Yep.
The message he spreads across the world makes him the best.
Yeah, I agree. Like his impact was so much more than boxing.
The impact, but he used boxing, and he was known as the boxer. But he is the best. Like that, he's selfless, religious, just everything about him was just good.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. That's the lasting impact he'll have is just like, and positive impact too, not negative. You know. Okay, Roy Jones Jr.
Man, idol.
Oh, really? He was a man, eh?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. He was just like Oscar De La Hoya.
Businessman.
Yeah,
he's all business. He's an actor, I think.
Yeah, he's so good. He's just so good at the promotion game side of things, you know what I mean? Manny Pacquiao.
He's a legend, yeah.
Legend of the sport. Vasily Lomachenko.
Oh, right.
The Matrix.
Beast. Right. Matrix. Oh, definitely, man. He's crazy.
Bernard Hopkins.
The alien.
Yes, the alien. Amir Khan.
Yeah, I love Amir Khan.
Yeah.
It's too hard to say these one words. I'll be saying the same thing.
Yeah,
I'm like, the best.
The man.
The best.
Killed it.
The man. I love him.
Okay. Who else we got here? Juan Manuel Marquez.
Marquez.
Yeah.
Wow, he's a fucking warrior.
Scrapper.
We've been to his gym, mate. We went and sparred at his gym in Mexico.
Yep.
Sparred with a few of the boys, bro. Fuck, they're crazy.
They love it?
Yeah, they love it.
Fucking, Duran.
Oh, I like Duran. But he's not like, I don't watch him too much.
Didn't watch him because he's probably before your time. Like you, Triple G.
Triple G, fuck, powerful, bro.
Powerful, man. When he's hitting those pads, like it's not the fastest, but when
and
it
the
hits,
way
man.
he punches, bro. He's like punches like hooks like this instead of that.
Man.
Crazy, yeah.
I don't know how he does that. Like I have to throw a hook like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how they like. Fuck me, man.
Crazy. Knocks people out.
I don't know how they do that shit. Tyson Fury.
Trash talk, bro. But I love what he stands for. It's more than just trash talk. It's he's like, fighting mental illness and depression and coming back and believing in himself. And he's another guy that uses his boxing platform to stand for something big. And you can tell he's got a good heart. So
all right, so we're all done with the name game. This will be a tough one. But if there is one fighter in Australia that you think that will give you the toughest challenge to then go world, international, who would you say in your weight division kind of thing? If who would be the hardest Australian fighter, or let's say Pacific Islands, right now? Who do you think?
Right now,
even though you're obviously the champion.
Well, there was an Aussie here, Mark Flanagan.
Yep.
And I wanted to fight him for a long time, but now I've overtaken him.
Yeah.
So if he wanted to fight, he'd be challenging me. So
okay.
But David Light just beat Mark Flanagan, and he's ranked number 1 in New Zealand.
Yep.
So he works on his profile. He gets it big, and I'll happily fight David Light.
Okay.
And we actually had 2 fights in the amateurs. He beat me the first time. It was actually my last loss in Australia. He gave me, and when I was like, I think I fought him when I was 15. So I was young when I fought these boys.
Yep.
But and then I beat him to go to the Olympic Games. So
wow.
yeah, we got a bit of pass, but nice guy, humble dude, and I like him personally. But we're in the same weight category, so
yeah, fuck.
there's always that.
100%.
There's always that.
If anything, it makes it better.
Yeah.
Like I used to love playing boys that I used to play with.
Yeah.
To be like, fuck, I'm gonna fuck you up, mate. I'm gonna fucking come at you all day long and just talk shit, but like in a a fun kind of way. Yeah, all right. So,
but yeah, that's why I reckon the two would be that. Just so I'm clean in my own backyard,
Yeah.
So Mark Flanagan for Australia, so no one can question me again about Mark Flanagan. I mean, I'll beat him, and then we go over to David Light. When I beat David Light, then my backyard's clean, and everyone would take on the world.
Yeah, fucking.
And then they know like the whole Oceania, all the islands, New Zealand, Australia.
Yep.
Let's go.
There's no more. There's no more fucking.
Then we take on the big fish, the bigger.
Let's go. Getting me pumped up, bro. I'll fight on the undercard against some fucking cabbie, some Uber driver. Get me a fucking Uber East driver, and I'll probably still get knocked out.
You'll be right. Just hook like this.
Just come in swinging like that. Can you imagine like getting with an Uber driver and he just towels me up? He's like some little packy mad boxer and he just bashes me.
Those guys know how to fight, bro. They're born fighters.
All right, yeah. Right, so it's the 27th, did you say, or the 25th?
27th of July.
27th of July.
Luna Park.
Yeah, is there anything else that you've got coming up or that you kind of been doing? Or
we're focusing on this fight first to get this out of the way, and then the next one will come. So,
how you feeling physically compared to? Are you feeling the best you've ever felt?
Man, I always feel good. I'm always training hard. I'm always active. So, I'm always ready.
Boom. All right, yeah. Well, thanks so much for coming on, brother, and I'll
thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
I'll continue to watch your career, brother.